Hi, Paris.
Hi,
How you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm very good today.
Okay.
So it brings you in here today.
Well, from our last session,
Yeah.
I I went home and I did the little plan that we came up with, and or that you came up with that you wanted me to do, and I realized that that my impatience and the anxiety that I am that I'm going through. Um, it is really it's really causing a lot of stress in my
Okay.
life. It is. I'm just and I'm saying it to myself. I actually I'm not the kind of person that that uses negative language.
Mhm.
But I catch myself, you know, doing something and being somewhere or whatever, and telling myself and saying I'm just so stressed out.
Okay.
So I'm stressed.
Okay. So how you say that you're stressed out. So the last time that we talked about patience and anxiety, and your impatience being a huge concern to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe from our last session we talked about. Let me look and see what we talked about. So I gave you a homework assignment of, you said, when you feel impatient, you say to yourself, be patient.
Be patient. Mm-hmm.
So did you try saying, why should I be patient?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
And
did.
so you're saying that, are you saying that this is an onset of stress, or do you feel like when you start reflecting more about the conversation that we had, that this is causing an enormous amount of stress in your life? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's yes. I'm just still struck because there's so many things I'm thinking about. I um, it's not just the position with the positions, or the position that I've been chasing. With the position there comes a more money. um, with more money there comes less stress on paying bills. um, I have a tremendous amount of student debt,
Mm-hmm.
financial aid debt. Um, of course, I have rent, car payment, everything. Um, it is, it's, it's a lot. It's just a lot.
Okay. So describe some of the, so you're saying that, you've just reflected on this. What is some of the self-talk that is destructive? If you had to give me an example of some self-talk that is just destructive, and is it just the word being stressful, or do you get very specific in what stresses you out?
Well, I get specific, but I think the thing that might be most destructive is my thoughts go to giving up, but don't think that giving up on life.
Right.
I think sometimes I think, would it be easier to simplify my life big time?
Okay.
I mean, as far as, well, you know, little studio apartment, little small tiny apartment with hardly no responsibilities, don't need, a car payment, don't need all, and just almost being like a floater, just going working here, working there, and just exercising, and just almost like this, an attitude of getting away from the world. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't say that's destructive, but I also, know that it's not my reality. I can't do it. I almost want to just move to California and go, and just park my car and sleep on the beach. You know what I'm saying?
So that self-talk is actually soothing. Even though it's destructive to your life, it's a very soothing, comforting talk.
Yeah, it almost eases my mind thinking, gosh, that would be nice.
Right. Right. Okay, so when you think about it, that's a fantasy that probably a lot of people have when they're under a tremendous amount of stress.
Yeah.
But when you think it, do you feel like that's a rational or irrational thought?
Well, I know it's irrational.
But
I also know that it could be done.
Right, it could be done.
So maybe it's not irrational, but the government still gonna want their money. So
that's right. Well, I don't know if they can't find you.
Yeah. If I'm just some barista somewhere, you know what I
Right.
mean? Just making, coffee and smoothies for people, making pennies, but, can pay my couple bills.
Right.
Like, hey, maybe try to start some online business. I don't know, but I'm stressed about this rat race trying to find jobs and, keeping up with the Joneses feeling. You know what I mean? It's just draining.
Right.
It is.
So do you feel like there can be some kind of a happy medium?
I don't think there's one or the other.
You feel like that?
I need that position.
You either need one or the other.
Well, I can't go to California and do that. But it's the happy medium is just getting the position that I covet. Because I can't go on doing what I'm doing now. It's not gonna work.
So you're at a point of stress, and the thought of enduring is exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So do you feel like that you just do the same kind of coping things over and over and over, and it just ends up being the same thing over and over and over and over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is there something that you feel like that you could change in that self-talk that you hadn't thought about before? Is that possible?
Not really. I mean, the only thing we talked about this before. Mm-hmm. We talked about this in the last session. The only thing, you can change your mind. You can change your thoughts. I'm sorry. You can change your thoughts, and that's the only thing that that can alleviate the stress. But from my understanding, that is a very difficult thing to do, no matter what, no matter who you are. It's a very difficult thing to do. And I try, but it is not easy. I try to change my thoughts when notion of doing things over and over again and getting the same result when it's something that is, that is a mental like that. It is not easy to just, when you have a bill coming up, you know what I mean? You just don't think, what the, I gotta change my mind, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. You know what I mean? You worry when, you get a notice on your door. I'm not saying that I have, I'm just saying that, you worry about those things. You worry when, your car might be picked up, or, you start thinking, you worry that, you're out of school now, you're about to start having to make student loan payments that's going to be as much as a house.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So you want the took got that education for, to pay those student loan bills. So,
it sounds, it sounds like
just change of thoughts. You know
right.
what I mean? It's easier said than done.
It is a lot easier said than done. You think that that you could possibly maybe think of it in a different context of, do you ever feel like, the bills and the things that you have are, could you think of it more of a blessing instead of something negative? Is that or is that something that would just be like, I'm blessed to have these problems because if God didn't, put, if, you could be on the street. It could be a lot worse than that. Thinking more that way and being, well, thank you for at least, I'm not 3 months behind my rent. Maybe I'm only a month behind on my rent. I could be 6 months behind my rent. They could almost tow it. And like maybe looking back on the past, things have happened. But do you feel like that you have progressed, at least have progressed and have always seen that God always seems to come through for you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to say that, where you say,
I do,
that?
But see, this is the problem I have with that. That I do get that. I do. He has always come through. He has always come through for me. But my issue is getting to the point to where he has to come through in such a big way. I just want to be comfortable in a way that, that it could, maybe other problems could arise. I'm so over these problems. You know what I mean? I'm so over the money issue and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, let me get the money. Let me have the money and give me some different problems. You know what I'm saying?
So you want a cafeteria style from the Lord, is what you're saying. Just give me something different to choose from
just give me a different yes, I guess.
So it's just the repetitiveness of the exact same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, because the stressful thing is, like I said, it took me 7 years to get an education that I wanted so badly, and I'm basically, honestly speaking, I'm making a lot less than I was before I got the education. Right. If you don't understand I know you understand what I'm saying, but just to catch you up, I did work in a factory, but I made plenty of money doing it. And it was blue collar, but I made a lot of money doing it. So I got tired of that life and said, listen, I need to be white collar. I need to be professional. That is my brain. My brain is not